Anyway, welcome folks to a blind look at Final Fantasy XIV. If you're at all unfamiliar with it, it's one of two Final Fantasy MMOs. And unlike the first one, FF11, this one has gotten a pretty good response. A lot of people like it. I got a 14-day trial on it, so I'm giving it a look, and the game crashed. Ether, and don't be a shit, please. Alright, it's cooperating this time.
There we go. So have you put any thought into what kind of class you'd want to play as, or even what race?
Not so much. I do know that I always kind of gravitate towards thief types.
Okay. Rogues are a thing, but you can't start as them. You have to, is in this game, you are not actually bound by the class that you select at outset. You can change your class basically anytime that you're not in an instance, as long as you have unlocked the class. And unlocking it is as simple as going to the guild and saying, hey, sign me up.
Alright.
So, I don't know if you can go straight into Rogue immediately, or if you have to get to the plot point that develops at level 15, but the Rogue Guild is located in Lenosha, or the city is Limsa. And if you want to get started, that's the place to do it. Their starting town is determined by what class you decide to start as. The Limsa classes are Marauder, which is a tank, Arcanist, which is a magical pet class, and my brain is blanking on me. There's my list, because I have a list. Oh yeah, and Rogue. So there's three there's three to each of the main cities, and there's 9 combat classes. So yeah, if you start as a Marauder or an Arcanist, you'll start in Limsa. As for race, it's pretty much a cosmetic thing for the most part. There are starting stats that don't amount to anything beyond level 5. And it'll determine what your dance and emotes look like. That's about it.
Which of the races would you say is the dumpiest?
By dumpiest, do you mean Chucklefuck comedy option or the least played?
Chucklefuck comedy.
That would be the Lalafell. Or, like, 1 foot tall.
Fantastic. Well, that'd be good for sneaking.
Yeah, the Lalafell are pretty much the favored race for tanks because it's stupid. For reference, the least played is the female Rogadin, who are the giant people, basically. They're actually the sort of natives of Limsa.
Not the dumplest EPM. The dumpiest. Like Bongo from Bomberman Jetters. Alright, character creation.
Yeah, you got humans, which have the really stupid name of Hur, elves, you've got the Lalafell, who are short, the Roganin, who are big, and then you've got the Mikote, who are cat people. No surprise, the dominantly played species are female Mikote. They populate over 60% of the server. They are literally the dominant population of the continent.
I feel a kinship with this elf. Tall and pretty, that's me.
I can't begin to describe how mad I am that the Mikote are as short as they are. 5'3", it is tall for them, apparently. That annoys me so much.
Not tall enough. Actually, that's still... That barely changes anything. Of course. Why is bust size a specific...
That's a thing in MMOs. That's... I don't know.
That looks logical.
And, you know, it's enough of one of those things where, you know, there's some people who want them small, some people want them big, so hey, give the option.
What? Kind of like this reddish brown tint.
One little neat thing is that you can actually give your hair highlights. Should be a little checkbox.
EPM says, make yourself as desirable as possible so other players hit on you during the stream.
You know what? I've played a Mikote from the start with pretty much every slider maxed out as much as possible, and I have never been hit on. For the most part, this player base is actually pretty behaved, especially on this server since it's fairly small. I've only had to deal with like sexual harassment like twice, ever.
Shadow the elf girl.
You know, it's all the more appropriate that you would make Pizza Joe as an elf.
I forgot we had chose that as a name. Well, why the hell not? It barely makes any difference. The defaults for all of these seem like, yeah, that's fine. Need a red eyes, because I'm a Sheikah whore. Look at all these options that barely change shit.
Yeah. On the one hand, the character designs and model availability are really pretty. On the other hand, the character designs and models are really pretty. And there's not a whole lot you can do about that. Like, I've got a friend who pretty much insists on playing whatever the ugliest thing is, so he's always playing like orcs or trolls or dwarves or whatever. He refuses to play this game because there is too much pretty. And I can kind of understand that.
I need a wingspan with my ears.
We're coming in for a landing. Stream incoming. And it crashed.
I like that. I got lightning coming out of my eyes.
Woo!
Of course. Cheek blush stickers.
Yep. There's even an NPC. There's a function in the game you can unlock at like level 15 or something, where you unlock an NPC called the Beautician, and it's like this really fey elf guy who like brandishes scissors all over the place, and that's how you do like cosmetic changes for your character, including stuff not available at character generation. So it's really silly, but you know, it's also useful.
Yeah, that's fine.
can't wait to see this character. Because apparently the chat is ecstatic.
If only it could be more ridiculous.
The expansion is coming out next month, and that's adding a 6th race called the Ora, which are basically dragon people. And of course, when they were designing the race, they went, okay, let's look at the most popular race and base our designs off of that. So they look at the short, small Mikote and design the females based off of that. Meanwhile, the males are like 2 feet taller. And, like, the sexual dimorphism is amazing. It's like, why did you do this? How did you come to this? How is this species a thing?
Alright, now I'm selecting a Patron Deity.
This is largely irrelevant. Like, you would think that the elemental resistances would mean something, but on the whole, they don't. So just go with whatever name or description you think is pretty. I went with the ice one because I like cold stuff. Because I live in a desert. This is very much a game of be whatever the hell you want. We're not going to penalize you for wanting to be something that isn't optimal.
Going Alfie. And as soon as I chose it, I completely forgot why I chose him. So let's see, depending on which of these I chose, my classes, I would start in a different town.
Yes. If you want to do the rogue thing, you're going to want to start in Limsa. So select either Marauder or Arcanist.
Kind of like the sound of the Arcanist.
Arcanist is actually really fun. It is the only class that has 2 jobs available to it later on. It has the Summoner, which is pretty much all face punch all the time, pets, and then there's the Scholar, which is lazy mode healing. I say that's not really true, but that's how it is if you take it into the lower level dungeons. That gets comical. You never have to cast a healing spell because the pet fairy does all the work. But Arcanist does most of its damage through damage over time effects and the summons.
And which world are you in?
Mateus.
Mateus. Alright. War name. Whoops. Pizza.
Pizza Joe.
He's changed his sex, age, and now he's pretty. And skin color, and race, and world. Basically, he's nothing like... The character name cannot be used. Someone has already chosen Pizza Joe.
What? You got fans here, apparently. I'm honestly amazed by that.
Pizza Joe without the E is acceptable, though.
And then it qualifies for gender swap.
Well, having nothing to do with the original.
Well.
And Eleanor says there are
Go
3
with
Pizza
Dumple,
Joes
I
in
guess.
total. 1 on Matthias, 1 on Exodus, and 1 in Lamia.
So of all the servers that have Pizza Joe, I happen to be on one of them. That's great.
I think I'm being born or something.
Incidentally, you chose a fine time to join the world of Eorzea. It's raining right now.
Feel.
I don't mind the rain.
I encourage the rain. Speaking of rain, Australia, give California back our rain. It's not funny anymore. We've had a drought for 3 years.
EPM is right. This means I could meet Pizza Joe at some point.
That'd be pretty great. I'll admit, I have not seen Pizza Joe running around. There again, it's not something I've actually been looking for, I must admit.
Hear. Feel. Think.
I know a guy in a cloak set me on fire. Oh no, gave me new clothes.
I don't actually know what the Limsa intro looks like, because I picked the old intro. Because I started out as a thaumaturge, because I am a black mage.
It's just a guy in a cloak and a red mask did something, and then I got all bright, and then I was in, I guess, an Arcanist's robes, and then I did something, and now I'm awake.
By the way, just full disclosure, the writing for the first act of the game, which is to say levels 1 through 50, is kind of not good. After that, they actually hired a writer, but until then, it's pretty slipshod. Just gonna be straight with you about that.
And not having a voice is just kind of my thing.
Yeah, that's why that worked out.
I think I saw 2 NPCs run right through each other.
They're usually pretty good about that. That actually kind of surprised me a little. Are you in the game proper yet?
Still in the intro. Just met this dude named Brennan.
Still in intro? Okay. Okay.
Am I warm? Is not a question you should ever ask. Why did I become an adventurer? Pizza Joe's a lady of few words. Brennan ain't got any flaws, you see. I'm gonna tell them all. Brendan's got his priorities straight. What's better than fortune? Breathing. And I think we're under attack.
Hooray!
Yep. We got pirates.
So that is a different intro than the one for Ul'dah. Ul'dah, you're in a wagon. Apparently, you're on a ship. This is not surprising, considering that Limsa is a nation founded by pirates on an island off the coast.
Everyone above died. So, sorry. I'm glad you're doing all the talking, Brennan. If I said anything, people might think I had a personality.
Or even worse, people might think I have a personality.
Brennan does only have one expression.
Your player character admittedly has more. None of them are particularly amazing, however. At least Brennan can talk, however.
I think I can turn the game volume up a little bit. Because I've got it quiet in the game as well. Behold, a thing you can't see because the camera's not pointed at it.
Omicron in the chat is correct. This game doesn't have a very pretty soundtrack. I would say that's probably the strongest point in a game that has a lot of strong points.
Of the realm. Amidst the roiling waves of the Rotano Sea lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Lim Lane.
But then she attracts the gaze
What
of everyone.
realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
Out ahead of me, it just looks like, why did I come here? Brennan, this is going to be the beginning of a beautiful French... Oh, we're never talking again. Alright, see ya.
Like, maybe once.
Brennan, I didn't do shit. You and I both went down under deck.
We retreated excellently. The proof is that we are alive.
Don't know if you can tell, because there is no light in my eyes.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on her life's voyage. Till sea swallows all.
Narrator got super dramatic there. First he was all narratorly and whimsical, and all of a sudden everything will die.
Everything is in trouble. I will talk like the movie trailer guy.
Rest in peace.